Hello everyone, welcome to Cellopedia, this is Maxim. I'm very excited to make this video for you, because we will be talking about mastering the fourth position, one of the most important positions you have to learn in order to play so much wonderful cello music. In today's lesson, we will be covering the following topics: the importance of the fourth position, shifting technique, thumb position, reference points, spacing between fingerings, and practicing strategies. Let's tune and get started. The fourth position is an important stepping stone for all cellists, as it opens up new possibilities for playing wider range of notes, improving your overall technique. It is important to learn the fourth position to progress and expand your cello repertoire. Most of the music for beginners is actually arrangements. That means that original music has to be somewhat modified. It has to be simplified by cutting the higher range of the cello, or it has to be rearranged, moved to different key. And it's so important for a teacher to inspire a student to tell that there is much more music to play once you learn the technique to make shifts to the higher positions. Let's talk about shifting technique. Accurate and smooth shifting is essential when we are moving to the fourth position. Here are few exercises to practice. Let's make a shift with the first finger. On the A string, it will be from B to E. Pay attention to maintaining a relaxed left hand and arm while moving between positions. Use your arm to guide the shift, keeping the hand and fingers in consistent shape. You need to try different fingers combinations, and perhaps you want to start in a slower tempo. If we use second finger, going from C to F, it will work this way. You notice that there was a slide between notes, which in Italian called glissando. This is very important tool, because that allows you to hear the shift. You hear when your finger is coming closer to your target note. And starting in a slower tempo, those glissandos are very important in mastering shifts. Later on, once you get more experience, you can minimize those slides as much as you want. Let's talk about thumb position. Your left thumb should move alone with your hand as you shift to the fourth position. To achieve this, place your thumb opposite to your second finger. Your thumb should be touching the neck of the cello, and practice this shifting without using the right hand. That will work like this. Imagine that you again going from C to F using your second finger as a leading finger, and pay attention that your thumb follows your arm all the way from the lower to the higher note. As you move to the fourth position, the spacing between your fingers becomes narrower. To maintain the accurate intonation, first you need to develop the awareness of the finger spacing required in the fourth position. One of the most important exercises to achieve that is to work on scales, gradually extending the range of already familiar 2-octave scales to few more notes so you can cover the 4th position. I'm sure that you are already familiar with C major scale in 2 octaves. That means that you can start from the top note C on the A string and play few more notes to cover the 4th position. Alternatively, you can add the 2nd octave to G major scale, starting from the G on the D string. Before we continue, I should thank all the supporters of the Cellopedia, especially members of Patreon. I have a bunch of very dedicated people who allow me to create those videos. And in return, I share a lot of extra stuff with Patreon members. Exclusive play-along videos which are made to enjoy playing cello with my accompaniment, and sneak peek preview of my new cello courses. I'm very grateful for all the support, and I hope you consider joining this wonderful group of people. To greatly increase your precision when you make those shifts, you can think about the reference points. To quickly locate the 4th position, it's helpful to identify them and think about those important notes. You can compare some of the notes in the 4th position. On the A string, you can check the G, the note you play with the 4th finger, with the open G. It should sound like this. When I played those 2 notes and they are in tune, I could feel that my cello started vibrating even more than usual. And it happens because those 2 notes, those 2 Gs, have a lot of vibrations in common. And when you play in tune, they amplify each other. And as a result, you'll get bigger and more beautiful sound. And in the similar way, you can check the 4th finger on a D string, which will be C, with the open C. If you are familiar with harmonics, you can use another reference point, which will be the way to check the position of the 1st finger. On every string, you have your 1st finger in the 4th position placed on the spot which will make a harmonic. I will show it with the E on the A string. What happened is that I played E in a normal way with all contact between finger, string and the fingerboard, and then I released the pressure a bit and I just touched the string, but I didn't press it all the way. So in this case, string didn't have a contact with the fingerboard. And as a result, I got a note which is 1 octave higher, but it was the note with the same name, E. And as I mentioned to you, you could check it on all other strings too. This is how it will work on D, G, and C strings. In case your first finger is not placed perfectly well, the moment you release the pressure and try to play a harmonic, you will not get this clear harmonic one octave higher than the original note. If you hear something like that, most likely that you have to adjust your first finger position. And there might be another reference point. This is about the position of your hand. When you play in the fourth position, you should feel that you are touching the cello with this part of your hand. It will be very gentle touch, but this is another source of information for you that you got into the fourth position. Of course, it will not guarantee the perfect intonation, yet this reference point is very important when you just start in making this shift. It works like a gentle stopping block. Try not to make shift too fast, hitting your cello as if you're doing karate. This is one of the common mistakes which beginners make. They make a shift and there's a lot of noise. And this noise is not good for your hand, not good for your cello, and will not allow you to master good technique of shifting. And now let's talk about practice strategies. You need to find good exercises and etudes for your daily practice routine. The best way is to choose those exercises specially designed to master the fourth position and to develop your skills which you can use in musical context. It is very hard to find a piece of music which is composed to use primarily the fourth position. However, we are fortunate to have many cellists in the past who specifically composed those exercises. I would strongly recommend you to study Dotzauer-Klingenberg cello method. And here are few exercises you could use in your practice. Before I show them to you, I should mention that I recorded more than 200 of exercises from this method. So I will put a link to a few of those exercises, but you definitely can explore more to keep advancing your cello technique. Here is the exercise number 109 from the second book of the Dotzauer-Klingenberg cello method. For those of you who don't have this book, I'll put a link in the description with a free download so you can start practicing right away. This exercise helps us to explore different patterns just staying in the fourth position. You have to make sure that the first note is tuned. You can use your basic reference point, just making sure that when you are arriving to the fourth position, you can feel that this part of your hand is touching the body of the cello. And in order to check the first note, which is E, you can try to play harmonic with the same note. And now I seem to be ready to play first three patterns from this exercise. And the advantage of this exercise is that you can repeat each pattern as many times as you like, and you can also go to different strings and explore how it works on the lower strings, trying to adjust not only your finger's position, but slightly lifting your arm to accommodate different angle of your fingers so you can actually reach the lower strings and have a very good contact between fingers and the fingerboard. After you've done all of that, you might want to try the exercise number 112, which will allow you to practice getting from the first to the fourth position, back and forth. I will show you first 4 measures of this exercise. In this particular exercise, Dotzauer is taking advantage of playing an open string right before you have to make a shift. You also have to make a shift from the first position to different fingers, and that will definitely give you extra experience to make sure that you master this position. If all of that feels a bit too intimidating, rest assured that it's perfectly fine. Give yourself time, work on scales, those exercises. You might also consider taking one of my Cellopedia Udemy courses, which cover many interesting topics from the beginner to intermediate level. I hope you will check them out using the link in the description, which will also give you a special Cellopedia discount for those courses. I'm so happy to share what I can with you, and I hope to see you again soon.